will start. We are giving it a try. Om. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. So once we see, having seen how yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, space, kal, single pointedness, etc., etc., existence, etc., all these 15 points that were told, having practiced them, and we have got no doubt whatsoever what Atman is now. But the question comes that we have got no doubt, then why, and I get glimpses also, then why am I not remaining steady in that conscious space? It is conscious space. So why am I not steady? And for this, here, the 127th and 128th verse is told. You can repeat after me. Samadhau kriyamane tu Vignan yayanti vaibalat Anusandhana rahityam Alasyam bhogalalasam Layastamascha vikshepo Rasaswadascha shunyata Evam yad vigna bahulyam Tyajam brahmavidashanaihi Samadhau kriyamane. Samadhau kriyamane means that, or Samadhau kriyamane tu. Tu here is to express indeed that while samadhi or absorption is being practiced, kriyamane, when you are doing samadhi abhyas, anusandhana rahityam, because of what are the different obstacles that the obstacles come, and it is unavoidable, because still the mind is not completely purified, meaning till the absorption is not 100%. 100% absorption is when there is complete purity. You are getting absorption every night in sleep, but you wake up every morning. So why you are waking up every morning? Why you are not completely absorbed? Because the samskaras of waking are still there. Memories are still there, so they wake you up. Something triggers you to wake up. So similarly in samadhi also, which is waking sleep. Samadhi is waking sleep. So in that also you come. So for some time the mind is absorbed, and after some time mind again gets activated. Why does it get activated? Because of these reasons. What are they? Such as lack of inquiry, idleness, desire for sense pleasure, sleep, dullness, distraction, taste of joy, and the sense of blankness. One desiring the knowledge of Brahman should slowly get rid of such innumerable obstacles. So, what is lack of inquiry? You can, example, Dhruva. You heard of Dhruv? He chanted Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Bhagwan came and gave him darshan. He got the darshan. Bhagwan asked, "What do you want?" He said, "You know what I want." And what did he want? He wanted to sit in the lap of the Father. Now the Lord has appeared as the Father, meaning He is the Father of the whole universe. So that time, because he is young, unlike Nachiket was very, very clear. Dhruva is unclear. He does not have the resolve that if Lord is asking, he should ask for merging into him. He is asking, you know, Lord, it is a correct answer. Lord should know, but he will only satisfy what you have harbored in your mind for so many years. And what is the urge that Dhruv had harbored? That I want to be able to sit in the lap of my father because his stepmother never allowed him to sit. So Bhagavan said, Sathastu, and you will rule for so many there, and eventually you will, when the creation is over, you will merge into me. But because there was lack of discrimination, Nachiket had clear discrimination. When we go into samadhi as a result of japa, if we go into samadhi as a result of watching where the breath begins and where the breath stops, if we go into samadhi from, oh, I am not the body, and I relax the body, make it still, I relax the breath and make it still, and I go into samadhi. Or I chant Om and I go into samadhi. And I don't understand what Atma is. Absorption will happen of the mind, but it is not lasting because you have not worked out that the inside outside is one homogeneous mass of consciousness. That Atman that you are, that is of the nature of the everything. There is nothing else apart from it. Until this does not click, how does it click? Only when you have discriminated, only when you have studied the Upanishads. So this lack of inquiry, your absorption has taken, mind has got absorbed because of laya prakriya. When the kundalini happens, it's laya prakriya. With kundalini, knowledge doesn't come. When will the knowledge come as a result of kundalini? When your attention is on the witnessing consciousness, then the knowledge will come. But your attention is on each chakra. I'm going to pull this Muladhar, it will dissolve into Swadhisthana, the Swadhisthana will dissolve into Manipur, and so on. And your attention is on the energy. Your attention is not on the conscious principle. Then Laya Prakriya happens. Same way, you now when you're sitting in meditation and your attention goes, oh, everything looks so peaceful, and your attention goes to the body is at peace, breath is hardly breathing, going in or out, mind is absolutely quiet, hardly any thoughts coming, and so nice, and your mind gets absorbed in that. But again, where were the thoughts? Thoughts were not about aham brahmasmi. Thought was body is quiet, breath is quiet, mind is quiet. So this will not lead to a realization. First. Second, idleness. Idleness means what? To procrastinate. Idleness is there is no urgency in your disposition to sit in meditation, to inquire, to do what the sadhana required to be done. हाँ कर लेंगे यार, अभी I'm busy. Sometimes you feel that way. If you had asked me now to come for a walk, I wouldn't have gone. I didn't feel like going. See? So when we keep postponing things for future, then that is not right. So idleness, that idleness is expression of laziness. Here I think laziness also they are used. No, okay. That idleness is laziness. Laziness is expression of tamas. That's why. Meditation, absorption, samadhi, abhyas, it will happen only when you are in the sattvic mode, not in the tamasic mode. So idleness, desire for sense pleasures, you decide whenever you go. If you are sitting here, eyes are closed, for example, or suddenly the 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 speech of the teacher lulls you, huh? And you close your eyes. It happens to us also. It happens. Used to happen. At that time, what are the thoughts going on in your mind? Is the thought about aham brahmasmi, or is the thought about I am taking the Lord's name for such a long time? When is the Lord going to give me darshan? Or is it's still a sense pleasure? Having darshan of the Lord is also a sense pleasure. Or at that time, involuntarily, eyes are closed and suddenly your mind is hijacked by something. यार बहुत दिनों से पिज्जा नहीं खाया, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय. अरे बहुत दिनों से अभी अगर बैठेंगे तो क्या, after the class, when are we going to France? That will be the thought. It will come and disturb because it is demanding attention, because you have given importance to it. So have you given aham brahmasmi or I am of the nature of atman more importance than any other thought? Or are you still, your desire for the world, for your ambition for the world, for your involvement in the world is remaining intact, and for that half an hour, 1 hour, you have weaned your mind away from everything under willpower, with force, through alcohol, through drugs, people do that, or through food. After food, you naturally feel a bit quietened, mind becomes quiet because all energy goes into digestion. So if your mind is still extroverted naturally, then samadhi, abhyas is difficult, or absorption is difficult, because the whole journey is from multiplicity to oneness, and you are still harboring desire. You are still having, here the word used was rasa, you still have longing for the sense pleasures of the world. That is the desire for sleep. Sleep is again when this is tiredness, no stamina, and you have to break through it. There is no other way. Because whenever our mind for even a short moment becomes empty, we only know one thing: empty mind is equal to sleep. Immediately you will yawn and go to sleep. So this has to, then how do you overcome this? Sleep is the expression of tamas. Idleness was the next level, lesser level. So how do you have to become inspired to know the truth. You have to be inspired you have to become active. How you become active? If you are feeling sleepy, don't sit for meditation. Then what do? Go out, work in the garden, remove all the weeds, cut some wood, clean the house, wash the dishes, cook the food. Do something physical, so that sleep goes away. Or the second way is, if sleep is coming, catch who is watching the sleep come to the mind. If you can do that, then it is fantastic. So if sleep is coming, we also say waking sleep, isn't it? So are we able to stay awake? So play the game. Initially you are feel that you are feeling sleepy. Slowly, if you keep practicing it again and again and becoming convinced in your mind that you are, this conviction is required, that you are other than the mind, you are the observer of the mind. When you do that, the mind is going to sleep, you may miss it few times. Or when you are going to sleep, purposely don't lie down, sit. If the head goes like this, you know it will hurt or something will happen, or put some put a mala and with a pin. So when the head goes like this, immediately it will come up. Small pin, not a pin which goes through and through. Slight, just so that it wakes you up. And now you know one thing, that if I fall asleep, I will wake up. Now you are not afraid of going to sleep permanently for a long period of time. So keep that position, get into absorption, let the mind go to sleep. You keep trying, okay, what does it mean to be awake? I have to watch. How will you remain awake in the deep sleep? You have to catch the last thought that is going to be dissolved in your mind. Then you will remain awake in the deep sleep. Last thought. You have to catch it. It's coming. Okay. So that for that you have to do, slow down the thoughts. You have to be so alert that first you have to observe that you are not the thoughts, you are the observer of the thoughts. And when that thought dissolves, then that observing attitude will continue into the deep sleep. This you have to experiment with your own mind. Nobody can do it for you. So dullness, disinterestedness, क्या कर लेंगे यार, अभी तो रिटायरमेंट के बाद करेंगे, या हाँ I must get up. There is no oomph to do anything in life. कभी कभी होता है ना, there is no oomph. Then distraction can be internal and external, inner imaginations, inner emotions, inner regrets, inner expectations that you have something deep which you have thought somewhere in your childhood or in your teenage. Suddenly that appears in the when your eyes are closed or you're sitting for meditation or even doing japa. So they act as distractions. Or outside, if I'm sitting here and enjoying going into meditation, and the sunlight suddenly comes on me, and suddenly this part becomes warm, distraction. अरे यार क्या जल रहा है, कहाँ से आ गया ये? When I sat, there was nothing there. Some thought will go through your mind. Or ant comes and bites you, again distraction. Or there is a loud bang in the kitchen, again that jolts you out of the meditation, again a distraction. So distractions are not in our control. Distractions are again Adi Bhautik, Adi Daivik, and Adhyatmic distractions are there. So we have to become immune to them. And that is only possible when we are inquiring, when we are doing the Vivek. That gives us the strength. Vivek plus dispassion, that gives us the strength. Then taste of joy. अच्छा यहाँ पे दिया उन्होंने, desire for sense pleasures and taste of joy. It's very similar. That means the longing is still there. There it was desire, here it is longing. Longing to hug our children, longing to taste gulab jamun, longing to experience something in this world which we have not yet, or we have tasted it before, experienced it before, and now we want to experience it again. And that is this tasting of joy, that last time I did this, it was a very wonderful meditation. Now I want to repeat that meditation so that I experience the same joy. It doesn't happen, my friend. It doesn't happen. Every sitting is a new one. The technique may be the same, but every sitting is a new one. But if you are thinking you are going to have the same experience as last time, it will not happen. Then last one is, and the sense of blankness. And many times everything is going right, and we say, where were you? I don't know. So I don't know means you were in the blank, in the absence, in the emptiness, in the void. You were in the void. And you don't want to go into the void. You want to go beyond that. So one day, and this is a state which comes. You can't help it. Whether you chant, you do pranayam, you can come to sense of blankness. Whether you do chanting, you will come to sense of blankness. Whether you do brahmasmi abhyasa, it will come to a blankness. Blankness will go away only by instructions of a guru. It only by grace. And what is that grace or instruction of the guru? That again and again the teacher is telling you, the scripture is telling you that you are the conscious principle, you are not the blankness. But when we are oriented towards the world, there is presence, there is absence. So if there is nothing present to associate with, then we say there is nothing. No, nothing is not a thing. Emptiness is not an object. Space is not an object. Absence of objects is called as space. Similarly, absence of thought is called as consciousness. Absence of thought is called as, if you want to use, we say absence of objects is equal to empty space. But we say no, bypass the empty space, absence of object is equal to pure consciousness. Chitta vritti nirodha. And then what? Tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. So, the moment last thought dissolves, rather than look at now there is nothing, you're stuck. You've gone into a wrong angle. The moment the last thought dissolves, your attention at that moment should be that this thought appeared from the consciousness, it is dissolved back into the consciousness. Not that the thought appeared from the emptiness and has gone back to the emptiness. But they say causal body, they say karana sharira, they say out of the unmanifest, the manifest has come. That was initial stages. After that, you have to break that thinking also. That everything is pure consciousness alone. So there is no place for blankness, emptiness, void to express. So what is this? This is conscious. What we keep using the word conscious sleep. So it is, and it's not an empty mind, it is a conscious emptiness. That emptiness which is pervaded by the consciousness that I am, that is what it is. And the technical word for that is chidakash. So outside space is called bhutakash. Mental space is called chittakash. When no thoughts are there available, then it has become chidakash. See? So recognize this about yourself. And then, I don't know if I've gone too fast. Are they handling each of that one? Let's see whatever it says. And so here it says that the sense of blankness is a state of mental torpidity resulting from conflict of desires. What is this? This is another. I have explained in a different way. Here they are saying it is because मैं ये करूं कि मैं ये करूं, I don't know, and you are in that blankness.
चित्ताकाश जो बोलते हैं उसमें थॉट्स रहते हैं?
चित्ताकाश में initially no, but when afterwards they are there or not there, it doesn't matter, as long as you know that chittakash is that space of the mind in which presence and absence of thought is taking place.
So चित्ताकाश will convert into चिदाकाश eventually.
Because mind is not separate from consciousness. Mind, consciousness with thoughts is called as mind. Mind without thoughts is called consciousness. Another word for consciousness is चिदाकाश, है ना? ये सब क्लिक कनेक्ट करने हैं सब कुछ.
Eventually वो ऐसे ऐसे.
हाँ, but you have to connect it. At that time, अरे उसके बाद क्या होगा? नहीं, you connect other information that you have. भाववृत्तया हि भावत्वम्
भाववृत्तया हि भावत्वम्
शून्यवृत्तया हि शून्यता
शून्यवृत्तया हि
शून्यता ब्रह्मवृत्तया हि पूर्णत्वम् ब्रह्मवृत्तया हि पूर्णत्वम् तथा पूर्णत्वमभ्यसेत् तथा पूर्णत्वमभ्यसेत्. He says, while thinking of an object, the mind immediately identifies itself with that. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. So whatever you are thinking about, that's what we do now. When we do puja, what is the first step? Dhyayami. Till you don't think of the Lord, how will you call the Lord? So first is dhyayami, then it is avahayami, then you call him, then asanam samarpayami, you give him a seat to sit down, and then the puja continues. तुम yawn कर रहे हो तो मुझे भी yawn आ रहा है. I'm good at blaming others. Okay. So for dhya, so if you didn't think of coming here for satsang, would you have come here? You cannot. You have to think. If you had not thought of a doctor, would you have gone to the doctor? Impossible. So dhyayami, here it says, whenever, whatever we think of, we identify with that object. So if I am speaking to him, I identify with Prakash. The next moment I think of, because my eyes are falling on Smita, so immediately I identify with Smita, then I again come back to Praveen, then I go there, or I go to the pattern, or I go to some memory in my mind. So while I am looking at you, something else reminds me from past. And immediately my eyes may be looking, but my mind has gone to that memory and it gets identified with that memory. That is how examples are coming. Better than that is the Lord is speaking. We want to believe that. See? But this is the process of the mind. So while thinking of an object, the mind identifies itself with that object. This is how we function through the world. And while thinking of a void, it really becomes blank. This is what I was explaining before. When we think of nothingness, it becomes blank. When we keep looking at the space, go out on a blue sky day and keep looking at the space. Slowly, everything from the in the sky also, even if it is at night, even all the stars, the moon, everything will vanish from your eyesight, because you are becoming focused on blankness, in emptiness. And same way, whereas so here he says, Brahma, similarly. So if you think of an object, you get identified with the object. If you think of the space, you get identified with the space or blankness. Brahma vrittya hi purnatvam. But if you get identified with Brahman, then you With thought of Brahman, one attains to Purnatvam. Purnatvam, to perfection. And so one should constantly think of Brahman to attain perfection. One should not think of empty space. One should not think of. You can think in Buddhism, very simple. You don't even have to look at the sky. One brahmacharini was there when in Chittaranjan Park in Delhi. Every morning she'll get up. The moment she gets up, she goes, washes her face with just water and sits down. And she'll sit like this. And she will, lights are all off. She'll just keep looking at the wall, very close face to the wall. Keep looking, keep looking. It's all dark. Eyes are open. And her body becomes still. You try, it will happen to you also. But don't do that while lying down. You'll go to sleep. Do it sitting. So we don't, but there, if you have studied Vedanta, it becomes a very potent exercise, because very quickly you have an empty mind, but your attention, eyes are looking at nothing, but your mind is being the observer of whatever is going on, without getting identified with it. And this way, so one should constantly think of Brahman to attain perfection. As you think, so you become. That is the rule. That is the way of the mind. As you think, so you become. What you think, what you believe, that you will think. So if your eggs are in the basket of world, you will think of relations, possessions, travel, this, that. If your attention is on blankness or void, then I don't want to think about the world. I want to think about nothing. And then you will go there. But here the aparokshanubhuti is telling us, Shankaracharya is telling us, no, you should bring your attention to the Brahman, the conscious principle, so that the mind becomes that, becomes absorbed in that. And that is Purnatvam. Blankness is not going to bring about Purnatvam. Objects of the world are not going to bring about Purnatvam. The completeness will come about by the thought of completeness. And you have proper understanding of what that word Brahman means. Bruhatat Brahman. That which is larger than the largest. What is larger than the largest? Which encompasses everything, and that which is one without a second. That is Bruhatat. And in this way, one should fix one's mind on the non-dual conscious principle, which by nature is perfect. And that you are. Don't forget that. It's not a concept we are talking about. Ye hi vrittim jahatyenam, ye hi vrittim jahatyenam, brahmakhyam pavanim param, brahmakhyam pavanim param, vruthaiva tu jivanti, vruthaiva tu jivanti, pashubhishcha samanaraha, pashubhishcha samanaraha. Those who give up the supremely purifying thought of Brahman live in vain and are on the same level as animals, beasts. Now you decide where you stand. You stand along with the animals, or you are one with Brahman. Where is your attention will decide that. From beginning of this aparokshanubhuti, I have been saying, shift your attention to Brahman, shift your attention to Brahman. Shifting your attention to Brahman means you will think about Brahman only. At least that much we can do. Where? Start at least once for some time in the morning or evening. Slowly, let it take you over and keep thinking about it throughout the day. So those who give up this supremely purifying thought of Brahman, which should be which is the goal of human life, such people, they are only struggling in life. They are only making ends meet. They think that parents, children, objects, experiences, indulging in memories, expecting something great in the future, all this is going to give them joy. It is only temporary joy. It cannot give you joy. It cannot give you permanent joy. Then if you say, oh, but joys and sorrows are the spice of life, tathastu, go. You are not, qualified to listen to this then. Get out. If that is your argument. If you come with that. Many people say, but Swamiji, what is the point? If only Brahman, then how? मरो जाके फिर और क्या. हमको भगवान ने, if you want it from devotional point of view also, we have come into, Bhagwan has created this form and expressed as individual through this form only to realize himself again, not to get lost in the world. But we are smarter than God. Who is He to tell us what we have to do? I know what my duties are. I know what my responsibility is. Your number one responsibility is to recognize that you are of the nature of divine. Everything else falls secondary. And you can give 100 arguments to convince yourself. It's up to you. With that thought that I must attain perfection in this life, you perform all other activities. How do you do that? Just like your overriding thought in your mind is, I have to take care of my family. That is your overriding thought in your mind. And that is determining all your actions in your daily life, isn't it? Getting up in the morning, going to sleep early at night. Why? Tomorrow I have a very busy day. I need to be rested. I have to catch this train because I need to get to office in time. And so on and so forth. So wife is doing in a different way. Husband is doing it in a different way. But their attention is where? We have to run this family. We have to do our duty. And we are responsible for what we have created. We are responsible for not only husband, wife, children, but also the extended family sometimes, isn't it? In that light, you perform all other actions. Exactly the same way. Let your attention be on the Brahman, and in its light, you perform all other actions of job, of family, of survival, or whatever. Mind is, I told you in one of the classes, mind is adept to survive. It will keep doing whatever is the way to, whatever is required, it will keep happening. Bhagwan also says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam, and you don't trust him. You don't trust him. And that's what he says here. Man has the unique opportunity of realizing Brahman as once born as a human being, meaning man or woman, and thus becoming free from the bondage of birth and death, and not bondage of ignorance, that is birth and death. But if he does not take the opportunity for himself, such a person cannot be called as a man. Then he is because there is nothing in him which remains to distinguish from the animals. What are animals looking for? Nidra. What is their life? Nidra, ahara, maithunam, and maybe marking of their territory. And they're very territorial. So, do you sleep? Yes. How much? 8-9 hours every day. Ahar. Do you eat? Yes, I also eat. But I am better than animals. I am eating vegetarian food. I am eating vegan food. I am eating cooked food. But you are eating food. How many times? ब्रेकफास्ट लंच डिनर एंड इन बिटवीन थोड़ा स्नैक्स हो ही जाता है, तो बचा कितना टाइम फिर? मैथुनम. At least the animals are involved in copulation only according to nature. Man has got freedom anytime, morning, afternoon, evening, every day. He does that. See? So if you are only living for producing children or for enjoying the opposite sex or eating and drinking, such is the Charvak philosophy. Charvak philosophy accepts life. I don't know about previous life. I don't know about afterlife. What I have born, now I have to live, enjoy, and in whichever way I can. That is Charvak philosophy. Are you a Charvak? They are worse than animals. Animals still follow certain rules and regulations. They will, a lion will eat grass when his tummy is bad. He will eat meat. He will say, "Yaar, meat खा खा के थक गया. चलो, let's change the diet for it." He doesn't say that. But human being, he is confused. He is vegetarian or he is a carnivorous. That also he is not clear about himself. So we can say a human being who is not recognizing his divinity is worse than animals. ये हि वृत्तिं विजानन्ति, ये हि वृत्तिं विजानन्ति, ज्ञात्वापि वर्धयन्ति ये, ज्ञात्वापि वर्धयन्ति ये, ते वै सत्पुरुषा धन्या, ते वै सत्पुरुषा धन्या, वन्द्यास्ते भुवनत्रये, वन्द्यास्ते भुवनत्रये. Blessed indeed are those the virtuous persons who at first have this consciousness of Brahman and then develop it more and more. Such people are respected everywhere. So what is this? Ye hi vrittim vijananti. Who vijananti? Who knows? Those people, whoever who knows that Atman is the worthy thought to pursue. Atman is the purpose of knowing. Atman is the purpose of life, and they maintain a steady stream of thoughts thinking about that Brahman in spite of whatever they are doing in life. Example, if the child does not come from school in time, the mother is doing everything, but her thought in the back of her mind, continuously the thought is about her child. So you know how to do everything and yet think of something else. So apply it here also. But for that, as much as you are invested in your child, you must, even more so, you should be invested in the Atman or the consciousness. So keep thinking of consciousness, keep thinking of the nature of I, keep thinking of being the witness of everything, and mind will keep performing whatever is required to be done. And this is your daily experience, or those moments. See, when you go to the school to pick up the children, if the child is, you go, the child is not in the class. You can't see the bag also. You can't see the jacket also. Then what you are doing? You are walking, you are searching, you are calling out, you are धड़पड़ चल रही है. Lekin where's your attention? All activity is going on. But where's your attention? On the child. Exactly the same. So why is that activity? Because of the child, isn't it? Similarly, when your attention is on the Brahman, all activity will be guided by that thought Brahman. सब सॉर्ट हो जाएगा अपने आप. Everything will be sorted. Then there is no personal thing, because Brahman is guiding everything. In other words, the God is functioning through this equipment because there is no individuality thereafter. And this is ye hi vrittim vijananti jnatvapi vardhayanti ye. And in this way, the who first, at least they have become convinced of the thought of that consciousness is worthy to be pursued, then they are meditating on the consciousness, they are thinking about consciousness, they are pursuing consciousness in every day, every moment. They are slowly they build up the momentum. Initially it was in the morning, afterwards it became twice a day, then thrice a day. I'm telling you from my life. Initially it was, I used to contemplate, when I was 12 I decided about it. That time I was not clear, very clear, but this much was clear. I want moksha. But what is moksha? God knows. Then life took its way, it took me this way, that way. Then I had one experience. Then after that, that experience went away. Again I got distracted, went here, there, went to Switzerland, studied. There again I had experience. And I became self-oriented. And as I became self-oriented, and again distractions come. And the distractions came. And I again forgot that I have to be self-oriented. Then I came to Australia. Then in Australia again the sadhana began. And as I kept continuing, and now it became even more intense. And as it became intense, the teacher appeared in my life. The scriptures appeared in my life, so that this attention remains continuous. It took how many? From age 12 till 32. It took that many years, 20 years. It's worth it, no? What have you lost? Still I traveled, still I ate, still I danced, still I went to discotheques, still I partied when I was working. But sadhana was going on side by side. Again and again it will keep pulling me back, because I always assess my day and I'll go back to what is important for me in my life. And always the answer used to be, knowing myself as the atman or the brahman is the most important. And it kept bringing me back. After having studied everything, now slowly, now there is no question that I am not that. There is no question. There is no doubt. But now what is, it's expanding. It's sprouting. It's taking over the whole life, if we can say that. Just like when one girl or boy get married, they are both bachelors. Now they have to live together. They have to live with the girl has to live with the in-laws and siblings of the husband. Suddenly a new family. Initially it is very difficult. If you take that it is difficult, then it will remain difficult for the rest of your life. But if you take it, okay, now I have decided that I am here, this is my family, how best I can, because first conviction that I am a part of this family now. Now this is my family. Now this is my dad, this is my mom, this is my sister, this is my husband. And once you have accepted that, then solutions of how to deal with them automatically appear. But if you keep thinking about just now it happened in Melbourne, if you keep thinking about your parent side, then you will never gel into that family. One young girl just got married 1 year ago, and the husband lives on the other side of the city. So she went, and she's also living there. And argument, and then he bought, he's the only son of the family. So the father and the son, they are very good pals, soulmates probably. So they put some money and they bought a land because they want to build a family home, and he wants to stay with his parents. What's wrong if he's single boy, nobody to take care of his parents? Why can't he stay with them? But this girl, I am 40 kilometers away from my parents. Why can't we take a house in between somewhere? So you go to your parents 20 kilometers and I go to my parents 20 kilometers. And this became an issue between them. If you think like this, you're 1 year married and 5 years they were in love. Love marriage. And this is what love is. That you start comparing, competing for distances. Then Rona, Dhona, Swamiji, this is happening, my husband is doing this, and he did not take me. Did they not ask you? Did they not ask you that we are going to buy the land? She says, yes, Swamiji. Did they not ask you that what is your opinion? Yes, Swamiji. How much time did you take to give your opinion? After 6 months, I have still not given my opinion. This is her situation. And that boy told her clearly when she got married, I got three things. I am the only son. It is my responsibility to take care of my parents. I want to live with my parents. So we will be living with the parents. I will never stop you from going to your parents. Whenever you want, you are free. And one more. And she agreed. And now she's backing off. ऐसे problems create करते हैं. And I am giving you this example. This is exactly, if I have not dropped the world when I am thinking of the self, again I will be thinking about the world only. All those obstacles will keep appearing. So whatever you think of. So if you are decided you are now a part of this family, and these parents are also very intelligent, smart parents. Lot of money, business, this, that. Don't worry, if it doesn't, that is not right, and you come and stay here. Our house is it is your house. Why you have to ask? Come and stay anytime. I just landed from Kailash in June, and I was called for Bhiksha. Swamiji, we have a issue on our hands. I arrived in the morning at 6:30 or so, and in the afternoon call आ गया, स्वामी जी शाम को भिक्षा के लिए हमारे घर आ जाओ. भिक्षा क्या है? It's all download. सबसे पहले मैंने क्या किया? What would you have done if you listen to this story? What would you have done? First thing I did was scold the parents. Who asked you to tell her that she can come back home? Now she's part of that family. Let her find her way out. If you keep telling her, okay, you can come here, she will never gel into that family. She has to give up her ego. She has to make compromise with her life. Same thing with us also on the journey. We have to give up the world. We have to keep the family relations, possessions, or park them in the garage. And contemplate on the truth when you are contemplating. At that time, no reason they should come and disturb us. They only come and disturb us because you are giving them, you still have value for them. You still have longing for them. You still have interest in them. But why are you sitting on the seat of meditation or in the satsang? To come to know your Brahman, and you are still talking about interest, about family. After you come out meditation, then you do what you have to, but in the light of the truth. And in this way, after long practice, the aspirant, the seeker, at first realizes while in samadhi the presence of Brahman which pervades the inner and the outer world. This is the experience which comes about. It's a conviction. It's not a direct experience, but he realizes. There are many experiences that come about. Here they are only talking about this. But this is not all. He should then hold on to this Brahmic consciousness until he feels his identity with the Brahman at every moment of his existence. At every moment, and thus become completely free from the bonds of duality and ignorance and merge into that infinite consciousness and be consumed. The spiritual practice of thinking about I am Brahman must consume the mind. No duality. Duality not as a presence of thought and not even as absence of thought. Even that also should not remain. Then what will it be? It will be a homogeneous consciousness. What is that homogeneous? You have to go there and find out. You have to be that and find out. And in this way, continuing in the next verse, Yesham vritti samavruddha
येषां वृत्तिः समावृद्धा
paripakva cha sa punaha te vai sadbrahmatam prapta netare shabdavadinaha. क्या टाइम हो गया भाई? Have we, how much time we are done? I can't see how much time we are done. Okay. Only those in whom this consciousness of Brahman being ever present grows into maturity. First it was a conviction, no, first it was an interest, then it was a focus, then it was single pointedness, then it was a deep conviction, or maybe conviction before, then only you will start thinking about it. And as that conviction grows in its volume within the mind, and then it grows into maturity similarly. And when we experience that that I am the self in spite of presence and absence of thoughts, then that absorption, that state of being, it starts expanding. It doesn't expand. It is first. It will be for a glimpse. Then maybe it goes on for a few minutes, few seconds, then few minutes. Then as it keeps maturing, for that you have to do all that we have been telling you. You can't jump back and now I have done what I have done. Now I want to live my life in this world. Gone. It will that glimpse will also go away. No, you have to maintain that poise of being and attain to the state of ever existent Brahman. Come to realize that all that there is, in spite of the multiplicity of the world, everything is nothing but the Brahman that I am, the atman that I am. And so, and those people who are only reading the scriptures, talking of the scriptures, teaching scriptures, but not practicing this Brahma abhyas. This is called Brahma abhyas. For they cannot attain that. Only those who are doing Brahma abhyas, they go to the source of the word and recognize that source is the self alone that I am. then alone it will happen. Otherwise it will not. That and that Brahman alone is pervading the whole universe, past, present, future, waking, dream, deep sleep, and 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 merely by hearting the texts and being able to repeat the shlokas at the drop of a coin wherever it is required, and having the 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 ability to explain, talk, give examples, and whatever the shastric paddhati. This is also a vasana. Studying scriptures is also a vasana. One should not allow that to happen. It will only stop when you are subjective while you are studying. Means your attention is towards the topic that the scriptures are indicating. And in this way, one must conduct himself, be subjective rather than only. This is the problem. You want to teach. Many people are there. They want to teach. They want to start ashrams. They want to start organizations. Did any rishi ever start an organization? Did any realized master start an organization? No master, no realized master has started an organization. See? And if they have, they are very rare and few. I can think of one. Who is that? Satya Sai Baba. He didn't start an organization. His job, it has built around himself. Yes, he is the centerpiece there. But Shirdi Baba, no organization. Mahatar Baba, no organization. Ramakrishna Paramhans, no organization. Gondavlekar Maharaj, no organization. Anyone who has started an organization has an axe to grind. And what is that axe? I have to do good to this world. When this kida enters into you, that you have to do good to the world, then you become disturbed if you are not able to do it. Then you get disturbed. ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? I am a devotee of the Lord. Why am I not able to do more? Then you command, then you demand, then you control, then you put a guilt trip on others. ये इसमें से निकल जाओ यार, निकल जाओ. कब तक? How long will you want to keep doing this? And I've taken only a few names. But so many Mahatmas are there. If organization has come around them, that's a different part. But they don't compromise with their freedom. Example, Akhandanandji Maharaj, Nisargadatta Maharaj, but no organization. But people used to come. He never asked, please come. Akhandanji never asked, please come. See? Ramakrishna Paramahansa never said that, please come, I have now realized, I have gone into Samadhi, I cut the head of Kali, or I am a devotee of Kali. He never said anything. He was Ramana Maharshi, he was in himself. When the flower blooms, bees come to collect the nectar. Our focus should be on our blooming. Stop worrying about the world. You did not create the world. He created the world. He will take responsibility. And the biggest responsibility you have is perfect yourself, and your perfection will spread the fragrance everywhere, and that will bring whatever the Lord has programmed for you, that will happen in your life then. But you live for, no, we have to do this, we have to spread the samskars, we have to do that. I also used to do that. I used to take classes and everything. everything. Now only satsang. Children are also there, teenage also there, young couples are also there, old people are also there, and there is no distinction. If you are disturbed by the children, get away from here. Don't come to the classes. Children can be playing at the back. Yes, they have to behave. They can be mischievous, but they cannot be loud. They have to play. So in my classes, they play at the back. But if you are getting disturbed, then you have to deal with your mind. Then you have to deal with your mind. So in this manner, let talking about Brahman not remain only talking. Let it become your direct experience. That's what the topic is. Aparokshanubhuti. And in this manner, we'll conclude here. नहीं तो शाम को you are saying we'll probably recap this and then I think it will conclude next class. Only 6 verses left. 6 or 7 verses left. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om. Now, how do you stop this?